Oh look, another video from the elusive Sassifrass. So I decided to do some Love Cup battles because any format where I can run Krookodile, especially now that it has this cool little combo of Mud Slap plus Brick Break, I like using it. And yeah, I haven't played even since I was so motivated during the Go Battle Week, Color Week format or Color Cup. Then I didn't play. I played like maybe a couple sets after that, and it's kind of like stagnated a bit. I think I was like got like close to 2400, and I dropped under 2300, and that's where I'm starting. A little bit under 2300 elo here. So yeah, I haven't been playing virtually at all this season. It's been barren on the channel, and I'm really sorry about that. I mean, I'm kind of like pulling myself in a lot of different directions currently, and also, just on a side note, before I get into the shoutcasting here of this really cool team with Krookodile, Miltank as a safe swap, and Skeledirge as a closer, I actually just dropped, or excuse me, I released a new song called Chuck. I have it in the description below, and also I'll probably have it in the comments. It would mean a lot to me if you streamed on Spotify, if you have Spotify, or if you want to just check it out in general on whatever music streaming platform you like using. It would mean the world to me. And yes, thank you again. It's the first single that's going to be on my new solo album that's coming out later this year, in a couple months. I mean, it's pretty much done now. I'm just finishing up my last track, trying to get it to where I want it to. And yeah, that's been really amazing and fun to spend some time working on learning music production. I already know how to, I already know music theory, and I understand how to structure songs and all that. It's just, this is my first time learning music production overall, and it's been super fun. And I can nerd out about it, honestly. I'm like the type of person that will just info dump on you and disregard anything. It's like I get so hyper focused. But anyways, yes, I have not been playing Go Battle League too often. I mean, even when I've been gaming lately, I've been playing a little bit of the Pocket TCG, just super casually, not like extensively in any way. But I've actually been playing Hearthstone again, which has been really fun. They have this expansion right now with StarCraft theme. I mean, it's like very hyper, like aggressive, the meta, it feels like. But anyways, this team is really cool because, well, like I said, I get to use Krookodile, which I got this from my homie RC Cola from the SoCal Swablues, my old coach when I used to play in factions for Sylph. That was good times for sure. But yeah, some really interesting battles here as I was climbing in. I'm actually, not to spoil anything, but in this small set or group of battles I did, I actually got like pretty close to veteran, and honestly, that's like been my goal this season, since I haven't been playing too frequently, is to at least try to hit veteran. I mean, it feels like I could actually hit it maybe even tomorrow if I play my sets, and if I post another video after this, more than likely it's going to be me hitting veteran. And if you're new to the channel, I am a filthy casual these days. I used to grind this game a lot, like was pretty big on Twitch back in the day, but nowadays I'm just like all over the place. I have a second channel on YouTube that I post frequently to, called Daily Sassifrass. I actually stream there at least like once a week as well. But yeah, I still like, I have a love-hate relationship with Pokemon Go. I mean, literally yesterday I was like talking smack on the game a little bit with my old homie, because he was like asking me about stuff, and I don't know, I just happened to log on today, and while I was out at the cafe working on some animation stuff, I was like, you know what, Love Cup, I remember Love Cup. I remember I ran this team that had 3 confusion users, and I got this comment from a guy who was like, I almost like, it was just like such a funny comment, because on my channel a lot of times, like, it's a hybrid of like I think this is a team, if you can run this team, you could probably do good with this. If you're watching this video, I feel like this is a pretty solid team in the cup so far from what I've seen. But yeah, a lot of times I'll make videos where it's like a challenge for me. If like I have a video where I ran like XL Teddy or Sun Great League, stuff like that, where it's like more than likely I'm gonna lose. But if you see a video, that means some magic happened, and that's what I'm sharing with you. So I had a video from the Love Cup years ago. I'll probably link at the end of the video. I ran Jinx, Slowbro, and Wormadam Trash. Just like all three confusion. And like the fact that I'm running a Jinx should just give away the fact that this is not, it wasn't a serious team. And I actually feel like I got wins. Like that's why I made the video, or I don't remember like 100%, but yeah, someone commented on it about how like, you know, I've watched many YouTubers and I know everyone has their different approach to playing the game, but I've never been able to use one of your teams and successfully win a battle. You know, I feel kind of bad in a way, you know, tragic story in a way. But yeah, I mean, I'm not the best influence, and that might even, you know, carry on over into real life as well. I try, you know, but I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect, because I'm not, and I know I can always do better. Anyways, I got like into like a therapist session here for a second. Thank you for hearing me out there, and you know, thank you for being here. If you are watching this and you even enjoyed just that part of the video, please hit the like button. It does help my content out a lot here on YouTube, and I have not even posted in like weeks, so I'm sure anything I can do to just generate a little bit of engagement here would be lovely. How are you doing? How's the family? Are you staying on tasks? Are you keeping true to your New Year's resolutions that you made this year? But yeah, typically this team, I felt like most of the time I had pretty good matchups with Krookodile in the lead. The main thing is there are some matchups that are a little tricky, which I'll try to pay more attention to now and just kind of focus on the matches moving forward in the video. So yeah, Krookodile is a really fun lead because Brick Break is a guaranteed defense drop. Mud Slap already just kind of hits hard right now. Here I didn't really want to bait. I probably could have, but oh wait, what am I talking about? I need to pay attention. It's game over, yo. Double crunch from the Krookodile. How could I deny? How could I not even see that? I played this just like like an hour ago. I just did this. Oh wait, that's a 5-0. Yeah, I was feeling pretty good about this, but you know, I was like at a lower. I think I ended on a loss set, so I was like a 2-3 set or something. So I just figured like the algorithm, like the matchmaking was like, this guy kind of needs some better matchups. But then I got into this and I was like, whoa, that's pretty sick. And they switch from their Slowbro into Licky Licky, which fortunately for me is actually not even a bad switch in for Krookodile. I typically like to get the Brick Break off on Licky Licky before I switch to my Miltank, because Miltank isn't technically a great... I think Miltank actually normally will lose this matchup against Licky Licky, but getting a little bit of help from Krookodile there to like give me some farm down potential with Miltank, that's kind of like the goal here. So Miltank's kind of like my most neutral, you know, pick on the team, and you know, there's a lot of people that run, excuse me, like double rollout. I mean, right here actually, in fact, is a great example of that. But yeah, I'm just getting off so much damage that it's quite okay. And you know what, I decided to just switch in Krookodile because I was like, you know what, it doesn't even matter because I have a great matchup here, and I don't particularly want my Skeledirge on the Miltank. But then I also kind of thought of it like this: it's not really gonna matter too much, honestly. Like, everything is so weak at this point, and there's nothing particularly that he has that can just one-shot. So I'm in a pretty good position. Here I didn't particularly need to switch out, but it doesn't even matter in the end because Incinerate will just remove Slowbro there, and that is the game. So yeah, this set, a little bit more difficult, obviously, you know, getting a little bit closer here to Veteran. So Talonflame the lead, I'm going to just go for Crunch. I mean, I could bait here, but technically they don't have to shield Crunch, so there's a chance they might just let it go through. I was just going to let the move go through. I didn't know what it would be, but yeah, Flame Charge still is going to hurt a lot on Krookodile, as you can see, but I do live with 1 HP, so I decided to just kind of preserve it as a sack swap potentially down the line if I need that. And yeah, in comes Miltank against Licky Licky, which I am kind of like trying my best to preserve my shields, but shielding against the Earthquake may have actually been a pretty good call here, just to preserve a bit more HP. And in comes the Talonflame. I'm not able to get to the Body Slam, unfortunately. But this is kind of an interesting situation overall, because I don't like, I want to shield this, but it's kind of a tough one. Oh, you know what I do in this match? I remember now. I'm not too familiar with how this matchup would play out, and I was thinking I need to catch a move with Skeledirge to win this matchup. But the interesting thing here is I actually never needed to switch out, and I see how I switched that and I just let my Krookodile die. So that ends up costing me this game, because as you can see here, I live the Thunderbolt and I'm actually able to get to the double Disarming Voice, which is what I was like hoping to do anyways, and I barely live that. And yeah, I think if I would have just barely lived because of the way the fast moves work, I think Krookodile might have actually been able to win with Mud Slap into Talonflame. It would have been pretty close though, still, but I think there was a really good chance I could have potentially won that. And I think I would have like maybe taken less damage on Skeledirge there, and potentially maybe I don't know. I think ultimately GG regardless. Yeah, a lot of lickies. I mean, a lot of rollout users in this format. I mean, Rock is going to be a good neutral typing, and there's a lot of fire types because of the persistence of the fairy type here. Yeah, so I'm just going to be spamming a couple moves here. They bring in their Slowbro, and honestly, Krookodile is really good against a team like this where they're running like Galarian Slowbro and the rollout Licky or Miltank, because it resists all of these fast attacks, and it also can put off some lethal damage on its own. I mean, even against the normal types, even though it's essentially neutral, it does relatively good. And here, because they led Rotom, you know, I knew that Krookodile was going to be the perfect like closer for the match, and they do end up. I mean, honestly, that was like their play. Like they were gonna lose, and like it's better to make the risk, but it doesn't even matter, as you can see that they didn't shield the move. But yeah, I mean, I didn't need to bait there, but at the same time, did it actually matter? As you saw, it did not matter at all. So this match is a little difficult because I get Medicham lead, which unfortunately is probably like one of the worst situations I could be in, because I don't want to just give up my lead necessarily. But as you can see, they have a pretty good situation here with their alignment. They're able to, like, I didn't want to just switch out into something, because if I switch to Miltank, they're not going to switch out realistically. And if I switch into Skeledirge, this is what was going to happen. So I wanted to make sure I did something. I got a shield, I brought in Skeledirge, they switch in Mola, and then I'm going to bring in Miltank in hopes of doing something. And I do get a Shadow Ball off on it, which is actually not too shabby, I suppose. But the reality is, I think I was suspecting they might have a rollout user here in the back line. Like, that's what I was thinking when I was playing this. And I think that is actually what they end up having. Yeah, they do have Licky. So I had a feeling that there really wasn't much of a thing I could do. I mean, it's a tough team for me to try to break through. I mean, it still gets, like, alright, but as you can tell, like, it's, like, pointless. I mean, I can't generate nearly enough energy. I mean, even if... I mean, maybe if I shielded differently, it could have been better for me, but I think ultimately, maybe it would have came down to, like, not staying in with Skeledirge maybe on Alomomola, and maybe trying to preserve HP on Skeledirge. It's not the worst against, like, the rollout users, since it's not stab on them, the rock move, but yeah, this match, pretty good situation for me. They lead Skeledirge into Licky, and knowing that my Krookodile has a great matchup against both of these, I'm not particularly worried. That's one of the main reasons why I really like Krookodile in this format, is that the ground typing allows it to resist the rollout, and the dark typing allows it to resist like any of the like shenanigans with confusion as well. So it has like a really cool like typing for this format. I mean, granted, there are a lot of fairy types, but honestly, they're not that prevalent, because I feel like a lot of people are running anti-Clefable lines and all that. I have seen a few, as you'll notice in the video, but yeah, honestly, way more teams with like double rollout than anything. So I get a 3-2 set here on my second one, but still pretty good matches. And yeah, I'm still getting a little bit of a elo gain here, which is nice. Again, a great situation. Galarian Slowbro lead, perfect for what I'm leading, and this is pretty much how I play it out. I always like try to get off a Brick Break, whether it be Licky Licky or Miltank, and I switch out directly after into my Miltank, knowing that because of the defense difference and HP difference, I can kind of tank a few moves, no pun intended, and just essentially, you know, chip away and win the switch. And then potentially even have energy or whatever switches in. And that's pretty much what I do here. I start throwing a Body Slam into Galarian Slowbro. And I am able to actually get up 2, which is great because I will get the shield here if I remember correctly. Oh, no, I don't. Well, I don't think it matters. I think they kind of knew they were in a tough pickle. But they do make a pretty good play here. They actually bait me with the Brutal Swing. And then they hit me with the Surf. I didn't even realize Surf would actually, like, one-shot me. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? But then they end up having Medicham and Medicham into Skeledirge. They just quit. And I was like, okay, sick. Pretty crazy. Yo, seriously. Honestly, this set has some pretty insane battles. Yeah, again, like, pretty good situation. I mean, I wasn't really sure what the thought process was in what they were doing here at all, honestly. Like, I legitimately have, maybe they thought they were going to catch a Brick Break, but the timing of it was like nowhere near what that would have been required to do. I don't know, that's kind of crazy. If I'm being honest, I don't know what was the thought process, like I said. But I'm okay with that, knowing that this is probably great for me. And I could just use Miltank here to gain some energy on the safe swap. And just kind of like punish my opponent for their decision making. Here I'm like, I just bring in Krookodile, shield, arm down. And in theory, this is a GG. But I was like, you know what? It's probably like another. Like, I wasn't really sure, honestly, what it was in the back. But I was just hoping it wasn't like Olomomola. And fortunately, it's just Talonflame. But like, even this situation is insane. Like, this match and last match, like, my opponents made like great bait moves. So they barely live here, and I'm like, honestly, like, you know, it's hard to tell if they're like double flying or flame charge. And yeah, they actually catch me with the bait and hit me with the Brave Bird. And I was like, but crazy enough, like, because of the way fast moves work, I actually still won. That was so insane. I beat 2 Pokemon with like 1 HP with Mud Slap. That was so crazy. Yo, Krookodile is just a monster. So I'm facing Crustle. I love Crustle. I'm a huge fan of Crustle. So it was like almost a tragedy that I had to do this battle. But yeah, I love Crustle. So they're running Fury Cutter, and actually kind of scary. Like, I can't really deal with Crustle that great with my team. And yeah, I just decided to just kind of switch out here, and it's gonna be just luck, I feel like, for me, because this is a very neutral situation now, and it's not like good that it's neutral. I mean, it's great that I got the shield, and I'm just gonna kind of let this go. So I switch in Krookodile immediately just to try to get some farm down on Licky Licky, and they make a good call in switching in Crustle and going for the X's where they build up. And at this point, I'm like, I don't know what they got, but more than likely, I don't know, I just had a feeling it was going to be double rollout in the back, and it is pretty much going to be that. It's going to be a Miltank. So I'm like, there's a very, very, very slim chance I can win this. And you'll even tell, like, I'm kind of like over tapping at times here, because it's like, I don't know, I was just kind of nervous. I thought I was gonna like throw my move at the wrong time and waste all my energy, but I don't know, it's kind of crazy. They just kind of stay in here and they just start throwing body slams, which I was like, well, if you're gonna do that, then I can safely build up and make sure I have the energy. And yeah, I don't know if what they were doing there, but fortunately, I kind of over tapped. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I over tapped that. As you see, I almost died. And then I switched to Miltank. I was like, what am I doing? Like, oh my gosh. And fortunately, in a weird way, this was like perfect because I had the double. You know, maybe this person thought I was just like in gamer mode when I did that. But that was kind of like sloppy. Really unfortunate that I had to fight Crustle. A Krookodile. This was so cool, you know. get to see another Krookodile. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's like weird because apparently that one has a higher attack IV than me, or maybe we're tied, but it looks like I'm doing more damage. It's so strange. I don't understand it, but they bring in Clefable, which is quite okay because I can actually just bring in Skeledirge now and kind of take advantage of this situation slightly. So I figured, yeah, this is definitely Swift, so I can take that, and that allows me to actually safely get a little bit of extra energy here on the Skeledirge. And I don't think I even needed to throw Shadow Ball though. It's kind of like overkill, but I just want to guarantee that I knocked it out. And I even almost like over tap here. I'm like playing a little sloppy here with Skeledirge towards the end of these battles. And fortunately for me, I was still able to get off that Shadow Ball and get the shield. So that's really like all that truly matters in this slight scenario. I knew this was probably going to happen, but I also thought about it like, well, even if I get that little bit of chip off, it's probably better for me regardless. I mean, granted, it would have been better if I just landed a body slam or didn't throw the energy at all. But in a way, it was kind of nice that it worked out the way it did because it still just allowed me to pull off what I needed to do here. And I was able to just make the call here, like, I can take a Psychic Fangs just barely. And fortunately, Miltank just ends up clutching it for me here in the very end. Yeah, again, I know it's been a minute. I was excited to see you at the beginning of this video. If you've watched up to this point, it means a lot to me. And yeah, sometimes I get a little ranty, like talking about stuff that's going on. It's been so long. You know, I'm like your Animal Crossing villager that you abandoned for 4 years and then came back and they're just like, oh, I thought you didn't like me. Oh, I haven't talked to you in 4 years. I don't know who's been running the city. Oh, I guess Isabella would be at that point. But yeah, this is not good. If it's not clear, this is not good for me. Not really a great matchup for my backline, and yeah, I guess like honestly, this one I was thinking like it's just gonna be like a very narrow win if I can potentially win. But one thing I've learned like playing Pokemon Go over the years is really just not to like be concerned about, you know, like you want to play out the matches because there's been some of the most insane comeback matches that have occurred from just not giving up. So that's something I would just recommend. It's also something worth considering is recording your matches. If you're like, even just for your own like benefit to look at it and try to learn. Oh, you know what? I think I know what I'd do here. I think I did not have to switch out here. Or... oh no, they actually... okay, so this is like super close. They had enough for the Thunderbolt. I don't know if them under tapping allowed them to do that on Krookodile there. It's like hard to say. I don't really remember how much energy. I didn't like go back and count. Like maybe that was like just super clutch for them to under tap there. I mean, regardless, it was like a good call. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the Sass Squad is getting stronger each and every day. Good morning, evening, afternoon, for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. And if you'd like to check out more Go Battle League content from me, consider watching this video right here or this video right here.